Welcome back to my real estate podcast with David Liberatore. I'm your host, and today we're diving into something that's been a huge topic of conversation in Sarasota real estate: insurance rates. David, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yeah, this is a big deal. So in July 2026, we got some really significant news about Citizens Property Insurance. They announced a rate cut. And honestly, this is the kind of thing that doesn't happen very often in Florida, so people are paying attention.
Okay, so I have to ask, because I know a lot of our listeners are either thinking about buying or selling in Sarasota. What exactly does this rate cut mean? Like, how significant is it?
So this is the thing. It's significant because for years we've been seeing insurance rates just climb and climb. It's been one of the biggest pain points for homeowners in Florida. A rate cut from Citizens is actually a signal that things might be stabilizing a bit. It doesn't solve everything overnight, but it's a real shift in the right direction.
Right. And I imagine for buyers in Sarasota, this has to factor into their decision-making. Like, when you're looking at a property, insurance costs are part of that total ownership picture, right?
Absolutely. When we're evaluating whether a home makes sense for a buyer, we're looking at the full cost of ownership: mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and yes, insurance. So when insurance becomes more predictable and rates actually come down, that changes the math. It makes certain properties more attractive, and it helps buyers feel more confident about their purchase.
That makes total sense. And what about sellers? How does this affect someone who's thinking about putting their home on the market in Sarasota?
Great question. For sellers, this is good news because it removes one of the biggest objections buyers have been raising. Insurance costs have been a real sticking point in negotiations. When you can tell a buyer, hey, insurance is becoming more affordable, that actually helps move properties. It's one less concern hanging over the transaction.
You know, it's interesting because Sarasota has been such a hot market for people looking to retire or relocate, and we've talked about that in other episodes. But insurance has been this dark cloud over the market for a while now, hasn't it?
Honestly, yes. When you're competing with other places for snowbirds and retirees, and your insurance costs are significantly higher, that's a real disadvantage. This rate cut helps level the playing field. It makes Sarasota more attractive as a place to invest and live, which we know is already an incredible area. Great weather, amazing beaches, strong community. Now the financial picture is getting better too.
So, what should people actually do with this information? Like, if they're sitting on the fence about buying or selling, does this change
I'd
things?
say yes, it's worth factoring in. If you've been hesitant about a purchase because of insurance concerns, this is a good time to revisit that conversation. Same thing for sellers. If you've been wondering whether now is the right time to list, knowing that insurance is becoming more reasonable is a positive indicator. That said, every situation is different, so it's worth having that conversation with someone who knows your specific circumstances.
That's smart. Well, David, this was really helpful. I know a lot of people in Sarasota have been stressed about this insurance question, so it's nice to talk about some actual positive movement. Thanks so much for breaking this down.
Thanks for having me. It's definitely a positive shift, and I'm hoping it continues. Real estate is about the whole picture, and when one of the big pain points starts getting better, that's something worth celebrating.